Okay, this is going to be the video going over both the article and the tip that I promised in the last video. What's gonna let's get started. Okay, so this again, anything of all this content only all belongs to their respective parties, and all stories belong to of events that happen, and there forthwith all belong to the both the victims who have gone through this and the survivors who have gone through this. Again, I'm claiming no copyright here, so all this content that you will see belongs to them and them alone. So let's continue. Not really gonna read it, just gonna scroll down so you can see. You feel free to just pause and read at your own disclosure. Okay. And as you can see, you have they probably got some stuff to desensitize the primary topic of that. Okay, I don't want to get too far into that. Anyway, so that's that. Let's see what else. I want to see what else I can find here. These are some of the things to look out for. As you can see, the article reads, all targeted individuals are subjected to a barrage of criminal acts, some of which they may not be fully aware of. If targets are true TIs, their phones will be tapped. As you've seen in my previous videos, I've showed proof of hacking. Not even attempts, like they actually were getting access. Were getting access. The computers will be hacked, their mail will be monitored. What can victims do to defend themselves? Halt electronic stalking and mind control ESMC activities, apprehend the cowardly perverts who carry it out, and punish them and their accomplices. Remember that the predators of your ESMC are the criminals, not you. Certainly the total. Now, ESMC, I need to look that up because that's the first time I'm hearing that abbreviation. But I've heard of RNM. Now I can't. Now what I do not know is if that is related to the very technique that I use to desensitize myself from them. I forgot the initials, but I do have the video capped, so I can go and literally instantly find that. So don't worry. So let's just continue to read through this. Certainly, the total loss of privacy, even in the case of your most intimate thoughts, is frustrating that common criminals, whom you probably do not know, have knowledge of your thoughts that even family members and friends do not know is unrevealing. However, keep in mind that whatever the criminals know about you and your thoughts, they cannot publish them in the New York Times. I constantly laugh at my perverted handlers and tell them that I really don't care what they see, hear, know, or think they know or do. I tell them through our synthetic telepathy to publish these thoughts. Now, whenever they like do their recruitment, and they're stupid enough to do this around me. They will do this around me and in front of me, intentionally, literally trying to desensitize myself. When they do that, I just play a documentary video on gangstalking that has the full disclosure of all of it and as far as where it goes. I've had a gangstalker ask me who had worked at Walmart saying, "Can you please turn that down? Can you please turn that down?" And I'm like, "No, it's fine, it's fine." She wanted me to turn it down because she didn't want people. She, as well as the rest of them, did not want people knowing what they were doing. And of course, what they were doing was highly against the law. What they're aiding is they're aiding a company that is threatening the very freedom of the entire American population, basically. But they don't want you to know that. Now, let's continue. The rest I would read the rest of this, but as you can see, there's a lot there. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna scroll and let you read this at your own disclosure. Just pause and read it at your own discretion. Or as you can see, I'll show you the title. As you can see, I would just read this whole thing, but I don't want this to go too long. I'm already at like 5 minutes. I don't want this to go as far as 30. So I guess if you want to read the rest, let me go back. You can see what I typed in: targeted individuals. And then as you can see, it's a Google. So you can, if you're still using Google, you can just find that, and it says how to fight targeted individuals 101 Google. But I don't know if that's the same one. I could be wrong about that. But let's check anyway, just in case. Yep, that's the same one. So just look for that when you type that in the search bar at Google, and you'll find it. So let's see. Let's check out synthetic telepathy. And after that, then I'll show you the technique that I got. But this stuff, synthetic telepathy, is the RNM stuff that they use to connect to you. Now, this stuff adheres to various different things. There's a YouTuber, I think his name is Michael Cole. I think that was his name. It was something, but I can't recall the rest of his name. And I thank him for that. But I kind of figured, before I even saw that, I kind of figured out about the high fructose corn syrup and stuff that had something to do with this. And I had been stopped, and I realized that the symptoms that I've had since lowered down since then. But if you don't already know, don't eat or drink high fructose corn syrup. If you're smoking cigarettes, stop. If you value your life, you would stop doing that. I understand it's stressful, but the tip that the technique I'm gonna show you is gonna help with both that stress and the very things that are bothering you as far as your targeting is concerned. It's gonna desensitize the things that aggravate you. It's gonna desensitize the stuff that gets on your nerves. A lot of the stuff. Just be patient with me, and we'll get right into that. Now then, there's many different people are using this synthetic telepathy. As far as the army is concerned, the army military is using it, FBI is using it, doctors are using it, and it goes on. The list goes on and on. Now, NBC, I don't know. As far as I know, a lot of the news broadcasting companies are all pretty much bought off. I don't even know if there's even a trustworthy one out there. Not sure. But let's continue to read. Army Developing Synthetic Telepathy by Eric Bland. Again, I'm not claiming no copyright here. It all belongs to their respective parties. Vocal cords were overrated anyway. New Army grant aims to create an email or voicemail and send it by thought alone. No need to type an email. Now, again, what I find suspicious about a lot of this stuff, as you can see, synthetic telepathy related to EE or as some people would call it, electroencephalograph or EEG. Similar technology is being marketed as a way to control video games by thought. I think that this will eventually become just another way of communicating, said Mike D. Zamar from the University of California, Irvine, and the lead scientist on the project. It will take a lot of research and a lot of time, but there are also a lot of commercial applications, not just military applications, he said. The idea of communicating by thought alone is not a new one. In the 1960s, a researcher strapped an EEG to his head and, with some training, could stop the start of his brain's alpha waves to compose Morse code messages. You probably already know what that is. If you don't, you could also look this up for yourself and check it out. Normally, I'm not familiar how they even put links into the description, but I don't know. Maybe I guess there is a way. I guess if you want to check this out for yourself, I guess I can just go ahead and copy this, and then I'll just yeah, I'll just have it in the description so you can check it out for yourself. It will take a lot of research and a lot of time, but there are also a lot of commercials. Now we've already read that. Again, well, this will just be in the link in the description, I guess. I'm not going to read this whole thing. Anyway, let's get to the other method as far as the desensitization thing. Now here it is. Chris Vaquero is the guy who has this on this channel. I don't know if he's the developer, but let's take a look. I'm actually gonna subscribe to this guy. Now, as far as you can see, do not use this for any type of real serious trauma. This should only be used for mild and pleasant memories because of the chance of emotional upheaval. For serious trauma, you should be under the care of a professional. But unfortunately, the professionals cannot be trusted. This is a self-administered video session of the EMDR process. EMDRI movement. Desensitization and reprocessing is a medical treatment with the goal of reducing the long-lasting effects of distressing memories by developing more adaptive coping mechanisms. The therapy uses in that include have the patient recall distressing images while receiving one of several types of literal sensory input, such as a side-to-side eye movement. EMDR was originally developed to treat adults with PTSD. However, it is also used to treat other conditions in children. Two meta-analysis from 2013 found that EMDR is better than no treatment in a similar. Now, I'm not gonna play that video. I'm not gonna do that in this vid. But I just wanted to show you again. The guy is Christopher Carroll. That's his channel. You can find this for yourself and use this again. I only suggest that you use this when your targeting is active. I did it. I used it, and their BS didn't even bother me anymore. That's basically considered something mild from what they're doing because the color coordination, again, you can't really do nothing about people wearing certain colors. You can't do nothing about people sneezing. You can't do nothing about them coughing. You can't do nothing about them trying to bend their behind over. But if they go as far as to flash you, that's something they could be arrested for, and that's considered public indecency. So yeah, if you get them filmed doing some stuff like that, you can have them arrested. But they probably won't really go that far. Again, if they do anything like that at all, and you have it on film, you could have them arrested, basically. So that's another good tip out there for people who. I hope they don't go that far, but knowing these gang stalkers, they probably do. On to the next thing. There's a video that discussed about this, and I'm gonna find it. I don't want a long video about that. I guess this one is the best one to really have. As you can see, this video is from TEDx Talks. Hello. But that's just as you can see. If you want to watch that, just go ahead. I'm not gonna play these videos because again, copyright. But I'm only showing you just so you know what to look for. Now, a lot of the things that these gang stalkers do is triggered towards your eye movement. When they do these very different things, or these very different acts as far as it's concerned, these desensitization attempts, the one thing it always catches is your eye movement, right? And they will constantly do this to get your attention. You're not at fault for this. The people who are at fault are the ones portraying this whole act of indecency. So they're the ones who bring this to your attention. They're the ones who bring this into this topic into the discussion. They're the ones who project this kind of behavior out onto you. You're not to blame for this. They are. These things that they say, they bring it up. The very things that they do, they're the ones doing it. So the whole subject comes from them, not you. So remember, you're not at fault for this. But this is just that's just a way to desensitize yourself. What now? One of the methods that I do, as far as that video that I showed you, the first one for this desensitization attempt, I would recommend that one. The only problem with that is it uses dots that are red. I don't like. The reason why I don't like that is because, well, as you may know, the gang stalkers, they use red dots. Well, not red dots, but they use the color red to sensitize you. So what I do is I use something different that is nowhere near related to the color coordination that they use, and I follow through with my eye movements towards that particular object or color. But honestly, if I had to be honest with you, I would get something that's clear and then use that. I would get something that's completely clear, a clear object that's like somewhat see-through or whatever, and I would use that, and then that way that's not something that they can really sensitize you to, because it's clear, and at the same time you're able to concentrate, or even you can just use something as far as your finger to do that. But it's, again, that's something with color. I would pretty much, if I were you, I would pretty much use something that doesn't have color. But what this primarily does is, the reason why I said you want to do this like while your gang stalking is being, your street theater is being portrayed, is that it converts your focus away from their behavior. So you're not as vulnerable to it as you would mostly be. Even now, I'm still being beamed with this radiation. It's almost up. They almost got it up to like 400 now. In fact, it is going up to 400. Wow. Anyway, that's it for this. That's gonna be it for this video. I'm at 17 here. Again, this is MM's TI strategy guide. Once again, I claim no copyright to any content that was in the videos, anything from the articles that were shown. This is only for both educational purposes to help other people dealing with the mild side effects of their targeting. This is MMT's TI strategy guide. I'm over and out.